Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whoever you are, wherever you are. This is the Monday Pit Stop Show. Tonight is coming at you for the month of December. Yeah, glad to have you aboard. Again, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whoever you are, wherever you are. Welcome to the Pit Stop Mental Health Check In tonight. Just a little something to going for this week in the new month of December. Well, we're 8 days in. As of today, we made it so far for the first 8 days. Just coming out from under the government shutdown. I'm just saying. And it's a whole lot of stuff happening. What we're talking about being able to cope, being able to maneuver. So here we are tonight with spotlighting. We're shining a light on involuntary commitment. I mentioned this earlier in the year. Here we are at the end of the year so far, December. We just wanted to spotlight involuntary commitment in tonight's mental health check-in. Just want to give you a little idea on what, a little bit more of an idea of what it's about. Because listen, the government is attached to so many things in our lives that we really need to check in with ourselves. You see the ticker says, "When's the last time you checked in with yourself?" So tonight we're checking in with ourselves so we can be able to maneuver better and have the best mental health support for 2026. So tonight, again, just a little check-in and a little groundwork for this week's just shining a light on involuntary commitment. And listen, for many of us, the holidays, it's coming and people focus on the holiday. But listen, your mental health is as equally as important, more important than the holiday. So tonight, just tonight and moving forward in this week, we just want to pause, breathe, and refuel for the week ahead. You are worth the quiet times. I'm worth the quiet moment. You're worth the quiet moment. Take a deep breath. Woosah. Again, you're worth the time it takes to slow down. So just slow down, take a little pause. So to all my minnows out there, I mean menopausal women, and to all my people out there who are passing through mental health challenges, who are passing through things such as perimenopause and menopause, postmenopause. Listen, I'm with you. Again, I just want to remind you that if you want to start a forum, Women's Health Forum on menopause, please talk to me. Hit me up at JTire Forum 1 at YouTube, and also at Just Us Mental Health. I'm sorry, at Just Stop It Mental Health.com. That is my website at juststopitmentalhealth.com, and you can blog, leave some information there, and leave some valid information at that, and support so we can get this forum going. And I'd like to touch base with whoever you are. I'd like to just come together as a collective and get this women's forum going for menopause or para and postmenopause, because 2026 is coming in and a lot of our younger women really are at their wits' end and they don't know what to do. So just want to give them a framework. I'm committed to caring about different issues, but I'm committed to those who can help carry us to the next level in such things and such issues. So yeah, so here we are tonight talking about involuntary commitment. Take a deep breath and just shining awareness on it. So what is involuntary commitment? I hear somebody saying like, what is that? Like, hey, what is that? But just to be clear, it's also known as civil commitment. It's a legal process when people experience people who are experiencing severe mental health issues, symptoms. They're to be hospitalized against their will. Now, there's a lot of stuff to that because it's what's attached to that is HIPAA laws to protect patients, to protect uh, those who are hospitalized against their wishes. However, there is a goal. There's a goal in anything that we do concerning our bodies, our mind, our spirit. There is a goal. The goal is treatment and safety, and the process can be really overwhelming for patients and families. So patients and families need to be clear. Need to have clarity on what the commitment to care is. This is a catchphrase: commitment to care. In other words, navigating involuntary commitment. Being able to navigate it is very challenging for patients and families. Families need to really have an idea what is happening to them, or what the potential plan is for their loved ones. So within 5 days, a patient may either be discharged or brought to mental health court to decide if a longer stay is needed. Now, it depends on the state and it depends on the type of hospital. It depends on the hospital that your loved one is in because it can take a couple of weeks. Now, it depends on the severity of the mental health of the psychosis. If there's a psychosis, it depends on the number of times that the your loved one has, or who it could be you, a person, it could be anybody. It depends on the number of times that you've been admitted to the hospital, and then again, there's a court order that is applied on your behalf by the medical team, and then they wait. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It depends. So, so that's the pathway. That's the part of the process. It depends on what state and the hospital that your loved one is in. Also, within that time frame, a patient must be discharged or brought to mental health court to decide. I just said that. Again, there's a different process for New York State, Texas, and things like that. For New York State, he or she stays for a few weeks while, and depends on the severity of the mental illness, while the application is sorted out by the medical team, or the application is submitted and then approved by the court. So, and the conversation should always be held between the patient and family members, so everybody is clear on what is to happen. And remember, rights do not end. Your loved one's rights do not end based upon commitment. Patients still have the right to refuse certain treatments and freedom from abuse and HIPAA protections. However, it takes a really good, solid medical team to make sure that this particular that this involuntary commitment plan goes smoothly, because it can go south. We're talking about having a safety net for he or she to be able to maneuver through this plan and be committed to taking his or her meds, and if they need to be tapered eventually, conversation should be had about that too, because the meds are pretty powerful. And then we're talking about treatment. We're talking about how the patients acclimate to certain meds, and the time. It takes time. It takes time, and it takes a strong team, a team to be consistent. It takes a very consistent team to be there with your loved one. And safety is the key. So tonight is just a spotlight on involuntary commitment. And when we come back on Thursday night, then we're going to talk about the framework, commitment to care, because I can't just say this doesn't pertain to everybody. It's different for each culture, but there's no one shot deal here. For our males and our females, and just in general for our young people, our younger people, um, who has those of you younger people, older people, whoever you are, wherever you are, if you have experienced involuntary commitment, please shine and share and spotlight your experience with us. This is a safe space for you to share it at Tire Form 1, JTIRE Form 1, FORM number 1 at YouTube, and also at juststopitms.com. So this is just to just share a little, get you in the spot, to make sure that you have some type of support in the event that your loved one has to engage in involuntary commitment. In the event that your loved one may need involuntary commitment, it's not for the faint of heart. Just so you know, but we're talking about being able to have consistency in your life, your loved ones, not some kind of support. We're talking about good support, and even if that support changes, it's okay. It's okay. Just quiet your mind. I'm here to help you to quiet your mind. Mark chapter 4:39 says, "Quiet, settle down." Just as Christ calmed the storm, sometimes we have chaos. It's chaos, total chaos, and we need some tools. We need some methods to help quiet the storm in our mind, in our heart, our spirit, our life, because of the health crisis, because of a mental health crisis that's tearing us apart. However, by centering compassion, by tempering our lives, by tempering that chaos with compassion and communication, we will have clarity, because we all deserve dignity. So we need clarity and we need dignity. So this is the Pit Stop coming at you. Yours truly, the Grand Queen. I guess you guys are like saying, who are you? I am the Grand Queen, creator and producer of the Just Stop It show. That's our main podcast. And tonight's the Mental Health Pit Stop Check-In. For those of you who want to check in quietly and calm your storm, just like I asked the question, when was the last time you checked in with yourself? Right? So here we are tonight. We just starting kicking things off, spotlighting involuntary commitment. So it's a civil commitment. We're talking about when people experience severe mental health symptoms and they may need to be hospitalized against their wishes. But we're talking about for their own safety, for the safety of the community. And it's not an easy task. It's not an easy fix either. It takes a collective. So check in with yourself on this information and come back on Thursday night and bring more valid solutions to this issue on how we can protect ourselves and our loved ones in the event. Because you do need documented information. You need we're talking about legal sources, so that you can be able to live life well and live life long. Live life and live well. And do better, because when you do better, you do best. Right? So we'll be back at you on Thursday night. And again, this was just yours truly, the Grand Queen, at the Pit Stop tonight, mental health check-in. And listen, this is not a medical advice. This is just a collective effort to help each other to live our best lives. 2026 is coming in and it's going to be a doozy. But we've got to be prepared, right? So, I'm committed to be prepared with you. That part. So again, come back on Thursday and we'll talk about the framework and the safety net. Some of the safety measures you can take to be able to navigate through involuntary commitment. Again, it's not for the faint of heart, but you will get to it, get through it, get with it. So just carry this reminder with you. until Thursday, for actually beyond Thursday, all right, that your storms can be calm. Your storms can be calmed. They can be calmed. They can calm down. Uh, as my African brothers say in patois, be calming down. Be calming down because you are worth the pause. And I'm just know that you're worth the pause. You're worth the pause. You're worth the wait. And I thank you for stopping by the pit stop. Until next time, breathe deep and keep going.